Hey y'all, this is Scylla here. Happy Sunday, happy weekend. I know all the days are just kind of mushed together this day, so it doesn't feel like a different day, but it's good, you know? For some of us, this is about week 6, staying home, working from home. Some people losing jobs, and COVID-19 has been interesting and different for us. It's a completely different season, and I know many of us are saying, I just can't wait to go back to normal. And I just wanted to talk about that a little bit because a few weeks ago, I was reflecting with a friend about how do we want to come out of this. And for many of us, we want to just come out and go back to normal. And I took some time to pause and say, I really don't want to go back to normal because none of us are going to be back to normal. We're going to come out of this scarred one way or another, whether you were affected by COVID-19 or someone you knew was affected or someone you knew passed away from COVID-19, we're not going to come out on the other side normal. And so the difference is, how are we going to come out? Some of us will come out having watched 10 more shows on Netflix or 20 more series, if there's a word like that. Some of us will come out just more scared, with more anxiety. But I realized that we're all going to be different on the other side. How different are you going to be? I was at a leadership conference this weekend, and boy, it rocked my world. And I'm realizing that I want to be one of the few that comes out stronger. My mind reflected on the story in the Bible about Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. And they were these 3 dudes. They lived in a land where they were not allowed to worship God. And so the king said, do not worship God. Come and bow down to this idol, this image I've made. And they were like, nah, we're not going to do that. We're going to worship God. And so they brought them out and they're like, the trumpet's going to blow. Y'all got to hit the floor and bow down to this idol. And they were like, nah, we're not going to do that. Eventually the king brought them and was like, y'all, I like you. So I don't want to kill you. So I'm going to give you one more chance. If this trumpet blows and you don't bow down, we're going to kill you. And not just any kind of death. We're going to throw you in hot fire. And they were like, okay, king, look, you don't even have to waste your time. Do what you got to do because we're not going to bow down. And they said, because we know that the God we serve is able to deliver us from you. But even if he doesn't, we're not going to bow down. And so that's a whole other talk on its own because dang, these guys were like, if we have to die, we're okay. We're going to die. And they believed God to save them. But they said, even if God chooses not to, even if God doesn't deliver us from COVID, that's a whole other talk. That's not what I'm talking about. But the king threw them in the fire and they came out of that and they were walking in the fire. They didn't die. The things that bound them probably just burnt away. And the king looked in the fire and he was like, dude, didn't I throw 3 men in that fire? And they're like, nah, yeah, you did. And he's like, hold on. I see 4 people. And he says there's one that's like like the Son of God walking with them in the fire. And he called them out and brought them out of the fire. And he says they weren't even burned. They weren't even smelling of smoke. There was nothing on them looked like they had been in the fire. Why? Because there was a 4th person with them in the fire. They didn't go into the fire and just binged on Netflix and binged on Amazon Prime and binged on Hulu. There was a 4th person in the fire. And so they came out unharmed, unscathed. Is that a word? I don't know. They came out of the fire without even smelling like smoke. And God has been challenging me. How am I going to come out of COVID-19? Am I going to come out of COVID-19 smelling, tattered and haggard and burned? Or will I come out like Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego with just glowing of the presence of God? How much time with Jesus am I spending? Am I using my free time to just be like, yes, we got time? Or am I spending time with the Lord? And that's just something I want to challenge us. How are you going to come out on the other side? Are you going to be victorious? Are you going to be stronger? Are you going to be healthier? What is God calling you into in this season? The sad truth, which is sad but great, is that COVID-19 is going to end. This too shall pass. And when you come out, how different will you be? Because we're all going to be different. But will you just have grown in your knowledge of current affairs around the world? Will you have grown in your knowledge of who is who in the pop world? Will you have followed more people on Instagram? Will more people have followed you on Instagram? How are you going to come out of the fire? And so my prayer is that I will come out of the fire stronger. I'll come out of the fire more determined. I'll come out of the fire more in tune with what God's plan for me is. I'll come out of the fire with evidence that there was a fourth person in the fire with me, that there was Jesus with me in the fire. That's how I want to come out. And I want to challenge you all this today. For me, it's afternoon, it's Sunday afternoon. Whatever time you're watching this, how are you going to come out of the fire? Are you going to be stronger? Are you going to be wiser? Are you going to have evidence of the Son of God upon you? Will people say, truly, this is what the king said when Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego came out and said, like, truly, the God of Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego is God. And people turned. He turned the whole country to start worshiping God because of the testimony of these three men. So just wanted to encourage you all today. I came out pumped from this conference, and you can IM me to hear more about all the things I learned this weekend. But this season is going to end. This too shall pass. How will you be when it's all over? I love you all. God bless you. Stay in touch. Praying for you.